Barry. I own 𝗪𝗪𝗨'𝗟𝗟 Contracting and Home Services.
My name is 𝗬𝗪𝗪𝗟𝗟. I'm the owner of 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗟 LLC.
So my name is Daniel 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗟𝗟. I own a business called Phoenix Central Home Services.
My name is John Sherman. My name of my business is Affordable Handyman and Hauling.
My name is Mike Neal. I run a handyman business, The Humble Handyman.
Hi, I'm John Floyd.
My name is Joseph Vecchio. I'm 17 years old.
My name is Brittany. I own a business called The Humble Homemaker.
So my name is Dan Vecchio. I'm Joseph's dad.
My name is Luke Maines. I'm from Murray, Utah.
Yeah, Ray, my name is Greg Schwan.
Yeah, sure. My name is Ben Alexander, and I started a handyman company there about 6 years ago called Hank's Handyman Services.
My name's Kelly Rigby. Actually, we live in Oklahoma.
My name is, first of all, Josue Navarrete, right? I was born and raised in California.
My name is Britton, Crawford Contracting.
My name is Adrian Moeller, owner of HMI Pros.
My name is Robbie, owner of RobertOwensHandyman.com.
I'm Elijah Hudson. I'm the helper.
My name is Bob Belts, Belts Concrete and Home Solutions.
My name is Jerry, Suburban Specialties.
My name is Matthew Richards, full service handyman, Dayton, Ohio.
My name is Troy. I run the Denton Handyman.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Y'all see my hand busy down here. It's nothing inappropriate. I just got a big old puppy dog. A big old puppy dog. There's my boy. This is Buck. There's your little boy. All right. Can you go lay down? Go over there. Dad's got to work. There you go. Okay. So, give me an audio check if y'all don't mind. Let me know my audio's good. I'll tell you what we're doing here today is I am building Scout. It's going to have a different name because I know it's going to end up being trademarked. I'm not going to be able to get Scout, but I'll get Handyman Scout or, you know, Scout Inspector. Oh, it's a little distorted. Really interesting. Anybody else? Does my audio sound distorted? Is it selected? Wireless. Really? Bad audio, huh? Let's try this. We'll try a few things here. Test. All right. Tell me if this is any better. I'm just gonna wait a minute, so tell me if this is any better. If it's not any better, I might just close this out and just come back in with different audio. I'll have to close it out, but I can come back in with this audio. So that's better. Okay, good to go. Cool. Y'all let me know if my audio gets bad again. If it does, I can just start over. I have an entirely different set that I can use. Cool. Sweet. So we're building Scout today. And for those of y'all who don't know what it is, really all I'm doing right now is y'all are just going to get to watch me vibe code. I'm not doing anything super specific. But the goal here is I want this to be integrated on the Jobber platform as an official Jobber integration. And to do that, it's got to fit all sorts of different requirements. So first priority first. Hey, Mike, what's going on? We got Mike. We got Scott, we got Frank, and whoever CTH is. I don't know CTH yet. So it's got to meet a bunch of requirements, which I can work on separately. Right now, what I'm going to be working on is when I send this to Jobber, if I want to make any changes, once I want it approved, if I want to make any changes to this app, they're going to have to be approved. And I don't want to have to go through 5 approvals in the first 2 weeks for changes over and over again. So the goal here is to just get the functionality cemented in. And the way we're doing that is I've already done a couple inspections with this thing. One specific one that's a very real inspection for a real property manager that I really do work for. It's on the screen right now. This is my real inspection for my very real property manager. And she wants to start paying me to do these, which is what I've been trying to sell her on forever. And now she actually wants it. So I got to get this done because this is a deliverable that I need to give to an actual handyman business client. And I'm just going to kind of use it as an opportunity to go through line by line each inspection item, see what I think about it, do any editing that I need to do, get everything resynced, send her report. But at the same time, I'll be rebuilding the software as we go. Edward Pitkin, good to see you in here, sir. All right, so here's the app right here, and I'll give you like a quick run through of the app, and then I'll get down to what I actually need to do. So first of all is it says Jobber connected. That's because I have authorized Jobber for me. By the way, I can authorize 5 accounts, 5 paying Jobber accounts while I'm in this like drafting development phase. I'm looking for volunteers, but this is the big but, because I know I have a lot of y'all that would be more than happy to volunteer. I need my volunteers to be people who are actually going to use it. Not just once either. I need volunteers who have real jobs they can actually go use these on. Or if you're not going to use it on a real job, at the very least, I need people who are willing to go actually do inspections like unpaid that you don't need to do, I guess. But the point is, because I'm limited to 5 accounts to test this on, I need all 5 accounts. One of them is mine, so I have 4 left. I need all 4 accounts who are testing to be testing with a real life Jobber account, actually using it to get all of this data transferred over to your Jobber account and telling me how the whole experience works during this drafting development phase. So up here at the top, mine says start from Jobber job because Jobber's already connected, but otherwise you'll have an invitation to connect Jobber. You'll click on it, the Jobber login screen will pop up, you'll log into Jobber like you normally would. Or I think if it even sees it in the background already connected, you just authorize real quick. But you authorize Jobber, should be a one-time thing. It may drop it every now and then and you have to reauthorize, but I fixed most of that so that it stays authorized. It's very hard for it to lose that authorization now. It basically needs Jobber to specifically send back a reply that says, you're literally rejected for some specific reason. Jordan, hey, what's going on? All right. So up at the top is going to be connect to Jobber, that function / feature. Beneath that is going to be my videos. When you connect, oh, well, by the way, should I show you? Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop in. So once Jobber's connected, you pop into Jobber. Up at the top is requested inspections. So if this is connected to your Jobber account, you're going to have some custom line items pop up. And one of them is going to be a little link that if you click that link, it takes that job and sends a request for an inspection into your software. You don't have to use that. It's not really necessary, but it's there. So you do request inspections. Below that is going to be all your in-progress inspections. Below that is going to be jobs and quotes. Now, you're almost never going to have in progress. In progress should just be ones that you've started and now it's lunchtime, so it says in progress for now. But most of the time, you won't have in progress jobs. What you're going to find beneath it, which clearly it has failed to load. So here's what we're going to do. Let me refresh first of all. And now they're there. Okay, so that was just some weird little glitch. I'm going to make a note of that on my gig sheet. All right. So we're on the jobs tab. There's a quotes tab too. So what this is, what you're seeing here is my actual jobs in Jobber. This is each of my actual jobs. Job number 2638, 2639, 2640, 2636. These are my Jobber jobs. It has pulled from my Jobber account the information, pulled it into here, and made these little buttons. Now, I'm going to click Start Inspection. You're not going to see much here because this isn't a phone. This is a computer. But if you were on your phone, what you would end up seeing... Actually, you know what? I'll show you what you would end up seeing. So first, I'll click Start Inspection. And when you click Start Inspection, you're going to see this is what your phone's going to look like, except... There it is. And we'll do this, and we'll say... So this is what you'll see. Y'all can't really see it too well. It's the same thing you see over there, except as you can tell, you get your preview in the screen and you get that record button. And then when you hit record, it looks like this now. See, there's me. It's recording me. And then you hit pause, And what it does is it pauses the recording. It doesn't stop it and reset it. It just pauses it. So ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to go into the house that you're inspecting. It's going to be a vacant property, hopefully, most of the time. But you're going to go in. You're going to find the first thing that you want to write up as, needing fixed. You point your phone at that thing as if you're taking a picture. You want to have it framed and ready as if you're taking a picture. Because when you hit that record button, it's going to grab the first frame as a photo, and then it's going to record the video. And then you narrate whatever's going on. So it grabs, you're looking at a smoke detector that's beeping. You point it at it, you hit that record button, and you say, bedroom number 2, smoke detector beeping, and then you hit the pause button. And you move on to the next item, and then you go, ding. Bedroom number 2, missing door stopper, ding, ding. Bedroom number 2, unpainted patches on the wall, ding. And each time you do this, you're creating a clip. Every clip you create, the moment you hit stop or pause on that clip's done. You can't go back into that clip. You just say what it is, you hit pause. The moment you do that, it immediately is uploading it to Google Vertex, which is like an enterprise version of Google, and it's getting sent over to Gemini 3.1 Pro, which only came out like 5 days ago or something, brand new. It's amazing at industry knowledge, at any industry. It's good at all industry knowledge, among like many other things. Sends it up, does a whole lot of stuff, but the short of the story is it sends it up and it makes a synopsis of what it is you're looking at. It's also going to tell you an idea of how much you should charge to fix it, how much time it should take to fix it, all kinds of other stuff that you're not worried about for this purpose right now. But it sends it up to Google Vertex, and then it receives a reply back, and it starts storing all of these gigs. By the way, it's rewriting them to make them sound more professional. Let's go ahead and cancel that out. It's rewriting them to make them sound more professional. But the important thing is what this app really does is when you click that done button, when you're happy with everything and you click done, it's going to take all of those gigs that you found at that job, all those discrepancies, and it's going to take everything you have. It's going to do a few things with it. Number one, it's going to put it into a PDF for you to download and just email to your client, which is why you don't have to have Jobber at all to use this. Jobber is not integral to the app. It's just that I use Jobber, so I'm building it to be an integration because I use Jobber, because I'm literally going to use it in my business, and I think many of y'all will use it in yours. Mike said, I didn't get to test the app out today, but I have a bunch of stuff coming up. Awesome. It'll be in better shape by the time you do test it out. It's already in way better shape today than it was yesterday. But so yeah, the big thing it's going to do, it'll give you a PDF, or you can send the report in the form of an email. Both of those are super nice, but it will also connect it into your Jobber account so that, like I said, if you click on this one right here and you start an inspection, whatever this inspection ends up with is going to automatically sync into that job or into that quote, either one. And at the end, it's all going to be there. So you at the job don't have to go around with your notebook writing down everything you see and then go home and sit down here at the computer and transcribe everything you see and think about how you want to word it. What's going to happen is you're going to go to the job, open your phone, click a button, click record, say what's wrong, click pause, find the next thing, click record, say what's wrong, click pause. And when you've got all the things, you just hit that done button. You just tell the app that you're done with this inspection and you go home. And when you get home, Jobber is already populated. You don't come sit down here and type it all out. It's already populated. Now, what you and I are going to be looking at right now here in just a minute is we're going to go through and see. I've literally have not read through all of this yet. I don't know how good of a job this particular go-round was, and it changes on each go-round as I improve it. So we're going to see what it actually looks like. Next thing is my videos. When you go into my videos, if all of the, so this is a job here. We didn't do anything. There's probably, oh no, there are some videos. Well, that's cool. They're all the same. Interesting. I don't remember putting any in there. So there's that one. This is the one that I just did. This is the actual for my property manager, a real job that I'm doing. This is the inspection I just did. As you can see at the top, one of the things that I have it do is I have it take all of the clips that we made, one clip at a time. This one has, I think, 62 clips and 62 stills. So it's going to take all of the clips that you made and it's going to put them into one combined long video. That's just going to be convenient for a lot of different reasons, including making content if you're me, but also being able to send that one long video to your client, or being able to submit that one long video into different AIs. There's other AIs you may want to give it to that can do more things for you. So it's just handy to have that one long video. And then after that, you're going to see a still and a clip that goes with that still. And then you're going to see another still and another clip that goes with that still. And you're just going to see that all the way down. This is my actual inspection, like I said, that I did on that job. We'll back out of this. And what was the next thing I wanted to show you? Here's recent reports. Let's do recent reports, and let's do the one that I just did. So this is the actual inspection report. Your PDF that you download is going to look very similar to this. The email that you send is going to look very similar to this. So you can go down here. Let's see, it says report processed by AI. I may have it remove that. I don't know that we have to say that up front. This move out inspection for 4810 East Orchard Grass Drive identified 61 discrepancies across. Seems to have just cut something out there. So cut out description on report. 6 critical or high things to review. Okay, so starting with the very first one, the upstairs bedroom on the left, the doorknob assembly is loose on the door. The inspector notes that it otherwise works okay and just needs to be tightened. Risk: a loose doorknob can worsen over time, potentially leading to the handle failing to operate, the latch, or coming off the door completely, which could make it difficult to open. True. Recommendation: recommend tightening the mounting screws for the doorknob assembly to secure it firmly to the door. Ideally, when I'm done with this app, this should be what the property manager receives. This will be what all should be included inside of the description area. So you can see that. Let's do the PDF, see if it'll, oh, cool, look at that. Did it do it? Oh, it's pretty. There's no pictures. I want pictures on it. All right. I want pictures on PDF. Watch, it'll mess the whole thing up when I try to add it. So let's do a cancel on there. And I tell you what, let's do some vibe coding now. I want to show y'all how easy Replit is to use. I really want y'all using Replit. I'm just a handyman, and so are you. We can all use it. Okay, the first note I made was default to include risk. Oh, that's from earlier. You weren't on there. Okay, so first of all, I want the descriptions on jobber line items to include. I'm going to shut up while I type because I can't type and talk. I want the descriptions on jobber line items to include the risks and recommendations. Also, when I first logged into the app, it didn't load the jobber jobs, but it did load the quotes. I refreshed and it worked fine. Let's see if there's a bug causing it to fail. What I want you all to notice here is I'm just talking to this thing as if it was a person. I'm literally just speaking to my AI on Replit as if it was an engineer that I hired who was sitting at a desk next to me. And I'm just saying, hey man, I want the descriptions on the jobber line items to include the risks and recommendations. And it just hears that and it understands it. I can't point that out enough. Cut out description on a report. Okay, let me go back and see what that said again. Go ahead and close you. Let's copy. Said also, the actual report on mobile says, and then I'm just going to paste in exactly what it says and say, and this feels like an incomplete sentence. Can we fix this? All right. Next is I want pictures on the PDF. There we go. And let's do this PDF again. By the way, the name of this software today, not late, it's going to all change, right? The name of it's going to be Scout something, but as an inside joke, the name of the software until I decide on its actual name is called Fix My Hole. I want these to be prettier, so let's add some more orange and brown. Also on the PDF and email, let's add more orange and brown. Beautiful. B-E-A-U-T-I-F-U-L. Beautiful. Let's add more beautiful oranges. Said also on the PDF and email, let's add more beautiful oranges and browns and borders to everything so it maintains my branding and looks good. Okay, that's enough for me for now. That's a lot for it to work on. It won't take it long, but that is a lot for it to work on, in my opinion. So we're going to let that sit there and think. And then we're going to come back over here to the quote. Something else I want to show you. It's part of the build out here, really. Is, oh, by the way, here's the different views. I showed you, we're going to go into edit here in a minute. Email, well, let's test it and see if it works. I don't know if it does yet. Well, nothing's working right now. What's going on? We're just frozen. Can I refresh? Mike said you might want to move the video of yourself to the top left. It's not so easy for me to just drag and drop and move it, but luckily we're not going to be doing anything in the bottom left. Even though it is kind of covering up a line item right here, we're not going to be editing things inside Jobber. We're going to be editing things inside the editor. I'm trying to figure out why this thing ain't loading now. CTH said LMAO, beautiful. Michael Manuel said Replit is dope. I made an automated appointment scheduling app, so I enter in the customer info and then send an automated phone call, text, and email that allows me to get jobs scheduled while busy. Yeah, Replit's amazing. It'll do just about anything you want it to do. I need to figure out now why this won't open. It would. Why is it opening over here just fine? Okay. Doesn't make any sense to me, but let's try. Just doing it again here. And there it is. Okay. Weird. I'll probably, if that happens more than once, I'll tell Replit and let Replit figure out why. Okay. So let's see. We did the Jobber Connect. I showed you my videos. I showed you opening up a report. Here's a recent. By the way, you can do create new. You don't have to have Jobber, right? So you don't have to pull from Jobber jobs. You could just click create new, give it a title, a description, a client name. The location it'll pull automatically for you, but if you don't want it to pull it automatically, that's fine. I'm probably going to give it the ability to do addresses where you can just enter an address there, but have it verified with like a national database. So we're using verified addresses that are repeatable, and you click start walkthrough and you end up on that same screen. So again, you don't have to have Jobber for this to work. But let's go to recent reports, because this is the important part here. We're in recent reports. Let's see how this is doing over here. Okay, it's made some suggestions. Oh, now I see, Mike. You were talking about what I was typing on Replit. Okay. Yeah, let me see where I can move myself to here, I suppose. It makes Replit a little bit smaller. Screen share. What is this? Well, that's even worse. Okay. Custom. Oh, there we go. There's one of my custom layouts. Cool. Thank you, Mike. Sorry, I didn't trust you, buddy. I didn't think you knew what you were talking about. I have no respect for you. Okay, so now I have a thorough understanding. Now I have a clear plan. I don't ever let it just tell me that it has a plan. I want to know what it is. I want to know what your plan is before you start. All right. Actually, that's going to happen basically right away, so I'll just stay over here. Add risks and recommendations to Jobber line items. Fix Jobber jobs not loading on first login. Thinks it found the likely bug. Cool. Fix incomplete AI summary sentences. Okay. Add issue photos to PDF and email. Yep. Brand the PDF and email. That's why it's getting so fast. It's running tasks. Look at this. This is new. Tasks 1, 2, and 3 are independent and can run in parallel. Task 4 comes next, then task 5. So this is new. It explains so much. I noticed that Replit was significantly faster all of a sudden. It's because it's doing things in parallel now, which makes sense because Opus 4.6 is doing things in parallel now. Okay, cool. So then I'm just going to say build it. Switch over into build mode. You don't normally have to do that. Normally, you saw earlier it had the build button. It just said build now. I wanted to see what it was going to do first. Scott said, if you're not using it off camera, you and I need to talk about push to talk for speech to text. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm not using speech to text with Replit, at least not yet. So if that's what you mean, I'll be setting that up if it's available. I'm not looking to do workarounds and make it happen. I don't mind just sitting here typing, but if it's a feature that they've put out that just works, I'm definitely going to add it. Yeah. Yep. All right. So that's working. Let's come back over here. There's the quote. There's the app. Here's the report. Now we're going to refresh just to make sure everything's fresh. We've already done a PDF. Let's check out the email feature. Let's see. I'll email it to Bulletproof Handyman Business. So you'll be able to ultimately, in fact, I need to add this. So I'm just going to have it automatically populate whatever email address you use to log in and create your account here. I'm going to have it automatically use that email address. And then you can just add, let's do plus add multiple emails. All right, but for now, I'm happy with this. Send. So we'll see if that comes through. I've got SendGrid set up, so I should be successfully sending out emails. And you already saw the video part, right? No, you didn't, but there it is. Are y'all getting the audio for this? Tell me if you're getting clear audio for the inspection. All right, it's cutting off. So that's another gig. We have full video not playing. All right, full video not playing through. Okay, we'll close that out. And finally, we'll see if my fix earlier worked, because earlier, it's a little better. Actually, yeah, let's bring this out. This isn't as bad. So earlier, what it was giving me for the editing page was a phone screen sized editing page. So I had it give me sort of like a full editor. And here's the goal here. Up at the top, this is what is going to already say in Jobber for you. Everything down here now you can edit. So in the upstairs bedroom on the left, the doorknob assembly is loose on the door. The inspector notes that it otherwise works okay and just needs to be tightened. I agree with that. I don't feel like I need to edit that. However, it is now going to add when this is done over here, which is still working. It's just reviewing the code now, so that's good. It's just about done. It found a few things that it wants to fix. But where's I at? So whenever you want to edit things, you can come in here and edit those things. It's going to add the risks and the recommendations. So I'm not going to do a lot of editing yet manually. I'm going to let it add those risks and recommendations. And when that feature is done, I'll republish, then I'll refresh. Then I can start editing from there. But if I edit now and then I go republish, it's not going to do me any good, because it's just going to refresh and repush everything over here anyways. So we're going to wait for that to finish. But we can go through some of these and see, you know, it's even doing, where did it go? That's interesting. Yeah, recommendation, pricing, materials, screwdriver. Well, materials should not be screwdriver and Allen wrench. Cool. So it's a little wrong. I'm going to have to tighten up the prompt. We should have tools and materials. So separate tools, section, and materials. So, you know, one of the background things I'm trying to have this do, and it's not really high priority for me, but I wanted to give, hold on, I'll show you over here. I can't show you over here because we're in the edit phase. Actually, we'll just go back. So it does show you, where was I at? Yeah, client. So client view only says the discrepancy. Client plus shows the discrepancy plus the risk plus the recommendations. So that way, if you only want to send to your client just a list of what's wrong and you're not trying to tell them what they should do about it or anything else, just a list of what's wrong, then you can use the client view. If you want to do the risks and the recommendations, then you can do the client plus view. Or internal. Now, internal is going to have estimated cost, estimated time, materials, and steps to complete the job. And I'm going to work on this and like fix this up and fix this out bigger and better over time. I'm really not concerned with this yet, but it is good to just be making notes and seeing it while we're going. Now, back over to that, and then let's go back over to here. All right, all 5 changes are done. How'd the agent do? Well, I don't know, but I'm going to say 5 stars anyways. Okay, so those changes hypothetically are done. I have 2 options now. I can come here inside Replit and I can look at a preview and I can test it in the preview mode here in Replit, I'm not going to do that. And here's why. It might work inside Replit and then I publish and it doesn't work outside Replit in the real world. So what I do every single time for anything that's not already actively being used by a bunch of people is I'm just going to go straight to publishing. I'm just going to republish immediately. And now this thing is publishing. When it publishes, then I can go see if the thing that I want worked. But it's not going to do any good for me to test it inside Replit and then publish, because I can just tell you from experience, there are things, even though Replit's a really good developing environment, and it does give it a good environment to test in, there's still going to be 1 out of 10 times it's going to work in development and it's not going to work in publication. So we just go straight there. So that's publishing. Let's go back and just take a look at, what was this? Cancel. Let's just take a look at some of these descriptions. Here we go. We'll come read them over here inside Jobber. Throughout the home, the inspector noted that while none of the 6 smoke detectors are expired, all 6 of them will need new batteries. Recommendation: replace the batteries in all 6 smoke detectors throughout the home. After installation, test each unit to confirm it is fully operational. Estimated time less than 1 hour. So this is a lot of what I'm trying to figure out today. For example, do I want it to say estimated time 1 hour? I probably don't. So I'm probably going to take that out and I'm going to say, hey, don't put estimated time into what we sync over to Jobber. And I'll just write that note down now. Don't put estimated time in Jobber. There's really no scenario in which I can see that being necessary. Now, another decision to make is the pricing. You know, I have done zero work on trying to convince it or trying to get it to do anything related to pricing. All I've said is just, hey, while we're in there, please ask it to give us a price and make that price based on, well, actually, I guess I put some complexity to it, but nothing compared to what I've done in the past on other things. I do have it checking, I want it using what I would consider fair market value pricing, meaning don't anchor it in any particular thing. Just use your LLM Genius to anchor a fair market value price for that specific zip code. And then not for a specific zip code, for a medium-sized American city, which I think it put at like population 500,000. That's 50% of the price. And then the other 25% is your, hold on. The other 50% is 25% $100 an hour rate times however many minutes it thinks it should take to do the job. And then the other 25% of all this getting averaged together is a licensed professional's hourly rate in a medium-sized city to do that job. So it's coming up with 3 different methods for pulling in pricing. It's weighting the fair market value is 50% and then 25, and it's pulling those 3 together and it's coming up with a final price that's only intended to just give us a starting point. Now, yes, in the future, as upgrades to the software, I could tell it to like let you give it your internal hourly rate and have it give you something with that. There's all kinds of upgrades I could do. Not trying to upgrade right now. I'm trying to get a minimum viable product that definitely works, that's solid, that's useful, so I can submit it for approval and get it into the App Store and then finally publish it. Let's see. Scott said, Ray, you're silently killing the programmer in me. You need a test environment. Please, dear God, get a test environment. I understand. I'm not gonna, though. My test environment is the internet. My test environment is the internet for things that nobody's using yet. When people are using it, that is not the test environment anymore. The test environment becomes Replit when I have people using the app. But right now, when I don't have people using it, there's no reason for me to not just let it test on the live internet, because there's nobody to get harmed other than me and my own job. Mike said, do you have to install the sealed detectors in Arizona? Not that I know of. Well, I tell you this, in Arizona, you don't have to install anything at all. if it's not a new build. It's literally in Arizona. It's basically all. It's still, you know, you can get sued. Like if somebody's house burns down and they die because their detectors didn't go off, somebody could sue you for that. But as far as the law here in Arizona, there's no regulations about smoke detectors anywhere outside of new builds, which I assume would also apply to maybe like a remodel where you've gotten permitting and stuff. But for what I'm doing, although I still follow all the regulations, as far as I know, you're not required to do anything in particular with rentals other than, yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember my research correctly, I believe my research for Arizona, that it literally wasn't, there's nothing in writing in Arizona about detectors other than clearly you should, because that's what's safe. But you have to in Virginia, huh? That's cool. Scott said, number one rule of programming, do not test in your production environment. Thank God I'm not a programmer. My God. Everything's going to change soon anyways. I mean, everything is on its head. But you already know that, Scott. But yes, I'm not a programmer, not a developer. I take pride in figuring it out as I go and maybe like not really adhering to a lot of the standards. However, again, one last time, just to be very clear, once people are using this, the moment this is officially published, I will not be testing in my production environment. I'll be testing in a test environment and then sending it to production while knowing that 1 in 10 times it's going to be broken in production in a way that it wasn't broken in testing, and I'll still have 10% of the time I'll have to go back and fix something. All right. Oh, this should be, yep, this is done. Published your app 5 minutes ago. Sweet. So that means we can come back over here, refresh this. We'll refresh everywhere. How about that? Boom. We'll just refresh. Yes, reload. I don't care about my changes. And refresh. And back into here. We got everything all refreshed. Okay, we're having a problem here. Maybe, oh, actually that's null and void now because we changed how it looks. So let's do this again, PDF. See if this looks like a better PDF. Sometimes it just completely messes them up. Fix my hole. I swear. I do feel like I want a brown border around that, but you know what? I do like this though. It's pretty enough. Can y'all see that very well? You probably can't. This is a professional looking thing though. I like this. Notice, guys, by the way, because while I'm doing this at the actual inspection at the house, I'm saying the words in the upstairs bedroom on the left. It's recognizing that and it's putting it in here. Upstairs bedroom on the left, upstairs bedroom on the left. Major. It's noticing that this is general handyman, this is painting, this is windows and doors. Cool. Hey, Christopher, what's going on, sir? Good to see you. Cool. So there's that, man. I'm happy enough with that for now. The only thing I got to decide, I don't know, I feel like I want a brown border around the larger cards. I do. I want a brown border around the larger cards. Brown border around PDF cards. And probably email too. Nice. So this is essentially what our PDF looks like here. I think it looks nice. I will tell you when you're taking your pictures with this, and you know what I probably will do, I'm going to have it if we're taking vertical photos like with a phone, we're going to have it display vertical photos. That's what I think. I think this looks good though, man. I'm pretty damn happy with it. So let's come back over here to Replit. We're going to switch back into plan mode so that it just plans. If you don't switch into plan mode, it'll start working. You tell it something's wrong and you're not in plan mode, it'll just start figuring it out and fixing it without showing you what it's going to do first. I like to know what its plan is first. Mike said, do you think the border needs to color match with a risk? Let's see. I think I understand what you're asking. Maybe I don't understand what you're asking. Are you asking about putting a border around risk, or are you asking if this bigger border somehow needs to match the color of the risk category? My God, you scared me. Come here, big guy. Come here, Mr. Buck. Mike's met Mr. Buck. Hi. Hello, big guy. What you doing? That's my boy. Good boy. All right, go on. Go on. Nope, I don't want you facing me while I'm working. It's a good boy. You gotta lay down on your blanket over there. Oh my. He wants attention. Okay. Mike said the bigger box, so critical would be red, moderate, yellow, etc. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. You know what? No. I see what you're saying. I'm going to say, hold on. Yeah, I think I want a brown border on the PDF. I want a brown border, and I want these color-coded, which they are. Like minor is blue, critical is red. I know we've got, there's major is like orange, and moderate is yellow. I think what I want is a dark brown border. I want this border to be a much darker brown. I want the colors, these are colored, sort of, but I mean... Actually, are they even? The critical is, and it seems like so critical is red, moderate is orange, minor is orange, everything. Okay, so I do want the colors. Let me add that. Add colors to severity on PDF. Because it already does that over here. It already has colors for severity here. The risk should always be red. Now, how red was the risk? Is it red? It is red. That's red enough. I'm happy with that. Okay. We're going to leave that there. We're going to come over here. And let's get this thing working some more. Which ones did I do already? We did the default to include the risks. Let's see if that worked. Oh, I need to sync. Okay. So that means I need to be inside my editor. I should have a sync button. Maybe not. I had a sync button somewhere. A resync. Got a delete button. That's good. Where was my sync button? It was a resync. Resync. There we go. So if we resync this, sync 61 of 61 items, come back over to Jobber, let's refresh and see if we now have the risks and stuff included. I see a recommendation. And another recommendation, and another recommendation. I do not see the risks. So it did not get the risks. We'll start with that. You included recommendations, but not the risks in the jobber line items. Please include the risks too. So that one is requested, not published, and not tested. Failed to load jobs. I'm just going to call that good for now. And if that pops back up, we'll take care of it when it pops back up. Clean out description. Oh, that. Okay. The description at the top of the report. Yeah. So refresh. Okay, refresh definitely doesn't work on that. Let's write that down too. All right, so we'll turn that off. Click back into here, open a new PDF, cancel that. We're not worried about any of that. And it's still cut short. Okay. You know what? All we're doing is changing the prompt. Yep. I'm going to save this for the next test, actually, because you know what's happening is we've already generated the report. It already gave us an incomplete prompt, and we've probably fixed the prompt, but we don't know we fixed it because we're not rerunning the entire job. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to put that on like a later log for rerun. Check description at top of report. Hello, little boy. Did you shut that door all the way? What you doing? What's up?
It's a movie that's like Race for Socks. It's got the modern toilets.
Okay, I don't know what you're telling me then.
But I like staying with you.
Okay, you can sit in here for a little bit. Work with Dad. Build some software. You got a puppy trying to get attention from you over there.
Yeah, okay, puppy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Name.
That's Buck. You know his name. What you trying to do?
The fence that's like Buck.
Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do?
The friend Buck is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Friend Buck is doing.
He's just standing there.
No, what's friend Buck doing?
He's standing over there by the door. That's what he's doing.
Dad.
What?
Kids in the office that's like new.
Mm-hmm. He's like a horse for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got that one transferred over. It's likely fixed.
Can I write it?
No, you can't write them.
Oh.
All right. Pictures on the PDF. We added pictures to the PDF successfully. Yes, we did. Beautiful. Automatically add user to email. I don't think I did that one yet, did I? No, I didn't. Cool. So now we'll come back in here into Replit. Delete that. Next gig is going to be if the user is logged in with their email. Let's automatically said if the user is logged in with their email, let's automatically populate their email for the email to section. Let's also add the ability to add multiple recipients to the email. requested. Requested. All right. Next, the full video. The full length video is getting stuck on the second clip. All right. Next, the AI is listing tools and materials in the materials section. Let's list tools and materials by themselves in separate sections. Let's also tighten up the prompt. So let's also tighten up the prompt so that it does a more complete job of tools and materials. And I'll tell you the truth, before I even try to publish this through Jobber, I'm probably going to remove the tools and materials section completely. I know that's going to take probably weeks to really like cement that in and get that working just the way I like it. So I'll probably have it, keep it in the code, but remove it from being displayed so I don't get a bunch of feedback that it's not doing a good job on something that it's not supposed to be good at yet. Paul said, howdy, Ray and everybody. Howdy, Paul. Mike said, howdy, Paul. Paul said, I'm doing some Replit and ChatGPT development right now, too. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that. I want to come see you in Texas and just watch you build on Replit. I think it's going to be amazing. Okay, what else? Let's see. Full video not playing through. Separate sections for materials. Don't put estimated time in Jobber. Yes. Also, please don't list the estimated time inside the Jobber line item. That is internal information. Brown border around PDF cards. Let's do a brown border around PDF line item cards and anywhere else that we're displaying that content. Next, display vertical photos. Next, our photos are vertical, so let's display them the way they were intended, as vertical photos. If you need to reframe the way you display things to accommodate that, just make sure that it's still beautiful. Replit understands things like saying, make sure it's still beautiful. It gets what you're getting to. It's trying to understand if you're wanting functionality or how pretty it is or whatever. So talk to it like a person. Add colors to severity on PDF. Next, on PDFs, let's add the same color coding to the severity titles. Titles, icons, I don't know, icons, badges. It's a badge, I like that. To the severity badges. And finally, refresh on PDFs don't seem to work. Okay, that's a lot. Are we in plan? Good, we're in plan. I would hate to put that in and like submit that while it was still in build mode. It would just do all kinds of stuff without me having any say so. Okay. Good enough for now. I like all that. So the editor, let's check out the editor. I know I'm going to be doing some work on the editor because I want it to be useful. Okay. Did I fully publish and refresh? I feel like I did. I don't see the recommendations added over here in the editor. I wish I'd have put that on already. Object key door handle. I didn't even tell it to do any object keys. That's interesting. You know what else is neat is it did notice on tightening down this doorknob, it says screwdriver or Allen wrench if applicable, and that's actually accurate. It also needs to include a, what do you call it, a pin, like a poker, because some of them have a little pin that you have to poke in. But the fact that it, you know, it could have just said screwdriver and that would have been enough for most doorknobs and stuff. But yes, you actually do sometimes need an Allen wrench for the levers to pull the lever off. Paul said, I also got burned one time by Replit running a very long time, cost a lot of money. Ooh, that sucks. I spend, man, every time, if I'm sitting at this computer for a day coding, that's a $400 or $500 day that it costs me. If I'm just generally speaking, if I come in here in the morning and I start getting to building, by the end of that day, I typically have gone through anywhere from like 450 to 550, sometimes 600 or 700 or 800. I've had days where I spent 800 in a day, not usually, but yeah, like any, call it 350 to 550 is pretty average if you're coding for a day. Paul said, I always tell ChatGPT what I want done and ask ChatGPT to give me the Replit prompts. I do the same thing. That's a good tip. I do the same thing when I'm building something new. Now, I don't do that if I'm just telling Replit like what to fix when I'm debugging and stuff. I don't do that. But if I'm adding a new feature or if I'm building a new app altogether, anything that's new and large and complex, I always go over to ChatGPT. I'm trying to use Grok a lot more now. Grok 4.2, by the way, has dropped, and it's amazing. So I'm trying to use Grok more. But yes, up until now, and probably even moving forward still, I'll probably still be doing that with ChatGPT. ChatGPT does an outstanding job of writing prompts to give to Replit, way better than you ever will. All right, I'm just going to let it build. Start building. Do your thing. Oh, dang it, and I forgot to tell it about this. That's fine. I forgot to tell it that it's not, it has not done a good job of updating the PDF. Let's try this again and just make sure. We'll even do a little bit of F12. Shouldn't be necessary on a mobile app, but just in case, we'll do F12 with an empty cache and hard reload. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything at all. Do a regular refresh. Nope. Let's go to... There we go. That'll refresh everything for sure. And then come back into here. This is our actual inspection. And we'll go to edit. And we'll open up the edit. And yes, sure enough, it still does not have the risks and recommendations. Yeah, look at that, man. It's doing a lot of parallel stuff now. Which, I mean, even Claude has been capable of parallel work for a little while. Replit only just now picked it up, as far as I can tell. Paul, what do you think about Replit? Are you having fun? I love that you're using it, man. I love it to death. I just... It's so much fun to just build stuff. So we're going to let that build for a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot of editing yet. So I tell you what, let's do more... Let's make this bigger. close that out. And let's just do more looking at what it actually, no, let's go back. Let's do this. Let's look at it in PDF form. Cancel. I don't know how to, wish I knew how to zoom into this page so y'all could just see it better, but it doesn't matter. So let's go to the one we haven't done yet. Number 3, windows and doors. Upstairs bedroom on the left. Correct. Minor. Correct. In the upstairs bedroom on the left, the window is missing a screen. Risk. Without a screen, insects and debris can enter the home if the window is open, and it may allow pests easier access. Recommendation. It is recommended to measure the window frame and install a new properly fitting window screen. That's solid. Number 4, painting. Upstairs bedroom on the left. Minor. All correct. In the upstairs bedroom on the left, there are quite a few unpainted drywall patches on multiple walls throughout the room. Now, I want to point something out to you guys. Part of the way that I built this. When you're filming, you can say something stupid. You can be like, man, this upstairs bedroom, you need to stay upstairs bedroom on the left if you wanted to get that part right. But you can say, man, this upstairs bedroom on the left has all kinds of unpainted patches and stuff. It's not going to take that with you said. It's not going to say this bedroom on the left's got all kinds of unpainted patches and stuff. It's going to change what you said into there are quite a few unpainted drywall patches on multiple walls throughout the room. It's going to sound professional. And I think I've mentioned this to you guys already in this live stream, but in case you weren't here when I said it, this particular AI that I'm using is great at being an industry expert. It's got a lot of fine tuning. And when you say like what industries, it's all industries. It has a lot of fine tuning just across the commercial, industrial, developer, all of the worlds, all the jobs, all the skills, all the industries. If money is exchanged back at banking as an industry, it doesn't matter. It's got a lot of fine tuning in business, generally speaking. So it understands more vocabulary so that if it knows you're a handyman or if it knows that this is about construction, about residential maintenance. Hi, look at you. I like it.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I like a big booty that's like me.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, so it's going to use better terminology than you. So don't worry. It's one of the upsides of this thing is as long as you've pointed the camera at the thing that's wrong, and as long as you've said enough words for it to understand, you know, because I give this example of you could be looking at a sliding glass door handle and taking a picture of that, doing a video of that. You could be looking at a sliding glass door handle, and behind that in the background is a leaky hose bib. Well, the AI doesn't know what you're looking at unless you say it. So it's instructed to first listen to what you say. And then once it understands what you've said, then it's going to reword it in its own way. But it's not going to decide what's wrong. It's not going to say, oh, he must be looking at the hose bib. It'll listen to what you say the problem is. And then it will reword everything that you had to say so that it sounds just better and more professional. So that means that you don't have to be careful about your words. You can stutter, you can correct yourself, you can do a lot of things. It won't matter because it's going to get the gist of what you're saying and then reword it for you. Next, Paul said, oh, definitely I'm having a lot of fun. The combination of Replit and ChatGPT have resulted in an enormous increase in productivity for my project. I'm not surprised. I'm glad you love it. Mike said, to zoom in, hold control plus mouse wheel scroll. All right, let's see. Ah, look at that. Now y'all can see it. Now you can see it. So this is, you know, this is the report that your client gets basically here. Next, number 5, general handyman, upstairs bedroom on the left, and major. Is that major? I guess I would call that moderate, but major is okay. Good news is I have an editor, so you can edit that. In the upstairs bedroom on the left, the pull chain for the ceiling fan has broken off and is now inside the fixture bowl. The inspector noted that when he pulled on it to test it, it popped right off. The chain is no longer accessible, rendering the fan inoperable. I suppose that's major because that would be a house that doesn't have a functional light, assuming it's for the light and not the fan, of course. Oh, risk. The ceiling fan cannot be turned on or have its speed adjusted. Result. Oh, it didn't actually notice that that was for the fan. I probably mentioned it in the video. resulting in a loss of function for the appliance. So maybe it's going to consider any non-functioning appliance to be major. Recommendation: recommend a qualified individual disassemble the light fixture, retrieve the broken pull chain, and properly repair or replace the pull chain switch assembly to restore fan operation. Yeah, you probably don't need to replace the pull chain switch assembly, so I'll change that to just fixing the switch, or the chain rather. Number 6, windows and doors. Upstairs bedroom on the left. The upstairs bedroom on the left, there are scuffs on top of the door where the door meets the frame. Risk: continued rubbing can cause further damage to the paint and wood on both the door and the frame, leading to more significant cosmetic issues. It says moderate. I would say minor, honestly. I would even say maybe just cosmetic. Didn't we have one for just cosmetic? No, we don't. It's just minor. I would almost create a new class for cosmetic only. Scott said, Ray, my previous comments were meant tongue-in-cheek. I was driving. I don't know if the... oh, yeah, no, I knew you were messing with me. Don't worry. I knew you were messing with me. I have so many developer friends. Me and developers get along super well. We have the same kind of brain, except my brain can't remember shit. Theirs can. Like, the only difference between me and a developer is you can teach a developer some particular... See, I don't even know the words. Some particular chunk of symbols that will do or cause a certain thing, right? A developer can see that, catalog it away, and be like, ah, yeah, that's the thing I do for the thing. I will never remember that. I will never, ever. I know that CD means change directory. I don't really even know why I'm using it, other than I guess I need to be in another directory. I don't know that I know what a directory is. And I know mkdir is a make directory. I mean, that's the extent of my developer knowledge. I have not retained anything else that I've ever studied in the realm of being a developer. So I have tons of developer friends, and they all give me a hard time, and I tell Chris all the time, I'm a developer now. I look him in the eyes and I say, I'm a developer now, because Chris spent his whole life learning how to develop. He earned the title developer. I came along and waited for an AI to get good enough for me to just talk to it, and now I can build shit. So I like to just look at Chris and say, by the way, I'm a developer now. So yeah, you can give me a hard time all you want, sir. It doesn't bother me. That's what friends do, right? Friends give each other a hard time. All right. Number 7, painting. Upstairs bedroom on the right. In the upstairs bedroom on the right, there are multiple unpainted patches on the wall. That's correct. That's minor. Correct. Risk: the unpainted patches are cosmetic and detract from the overall appearance of the room, suggesting an incomplete repair or preparation for painting. Recommendation: properly repair and paint the patched areas to match the surrounding wall color and finish for a consistent appearance. The wording is just good, right? If you're going to give this to a property manager, and by property manager, I mean a 32-year-old woman who graduated high school, did a year and a half of community college, but didn't quite make it, and then had a kid, and is now a single mom, right? That's who the property manager is. She's going to read this and fully understand everything it says, and at the same time feel like it's quite professional. So it's not above her range, it's not below her range. It's in this nice middle range of things that property managers will understand and also feel sounds professional. Let's find some other stuff. What do we got? I want to see if it, yeah, this was one I had an issue with. I looked over it earlier. In the master bathroom on the floor just outside the shower door, there is very real damage to the wood flooring. There's also possible damage to the subflooring underneath. That's an accurate description. The issue I have is that it says moderate. That should be severe. When you have active water damage inside a house, outside a shower door, and I've said possible damage to the subflooring underneath, that implies to me that that should be a major, not critical, but major instead of moderate. Risk: ongoing water intrusion can lead to wood rot, mold growth, and structural damage to the subfloor and framing. Right? That's major. If not addressed, the damage will worsen and spread, leading to more extensive and costly repairs. Recommendation: this is the part I do like, because I mentioned this in the video, and I did instruct this software I instructed the software that if it hears me say inside a video, or you, whoever the user is, that they should have a licensed professional come out and do something, that I wanted to make sure that it picked that up and separated it out. I might even have a separate block, like a third block, just for things where I'm suggesting a licensed professional so that nobody can skim over that. Should I? Should I? That's the question. Let's write it down just in case. Because the deal here is I want to be able to give this to the property manager in the form of an estimate with this PDF attached. And I want the PDF, yeah, and I should put it at the top even. We need to put the critical items at the top, and we need to put anything that requires licensed professionals at the top. I want these in order because as you walk the house and inspect, you know, you're in one room, you have 5 gigs in one room. You move to the next room, you've got 5 gigs in the next room. You move to the living room, and you've got 4 gigs there. And I want the person reading these, going through the house to do the work, to be able to consolidate everything into its individual rooms so that while you're in the room, you can see all 5 things that are going on in that room all at one place. Which means I don't want to show the critical cards at the top, but I do want to list out at the top something that says like critical, space, items number 8, 16, 23, and 34 are critical and should be prioritized. Then I've at least given them the note, like, hey, there are critical ones in here. Here's the ones they are. And then right below that, I need to have specialty trades, specialty. I'll call it specialty for now. So at the top, we're going to say critical, space. Items number, blah, 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 are critical and should be prioritized. Then right after that, it's going to say specialty. I'm just going to say specialty for now. I'll use ChatGPT to find a better word. Specialty, items number, blah, 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 require a licensed specialist for further evaluation and repair. I like that. I like that. I'm going to put that. I'll tell you what. Let's go check out. Oh, what happened here? Oh, that's right. Let's just make you smaller again. Push you over there. How are we doing here? We should be done. All changes are done. Here's what was updated. Jobber line items now include risks and estimated time was removed. Email dialog pre-fills your email and supports multiple comma-separated recipients. Video stitching now re-encodes for reliability. AI separates tools from materials. PDF and email have brown bordered cards with vertical photos and color-coded severity badges. Want to test any of these? Nope. But real quick, I noticed that the editor did not have the updated risks and recommendations included in its description section. This matters because whenever we sync, we want everything in the editor to transfer over to the jobber line item. Also, please give me a sync button per line item from the editor and a sync button All right, and there was another thing right in line with this. Oh, yeah. Next is a big one. I want the editor and the jobber line items to have a new line item between each, after each, not between each, after each line item, after each discrepancy titled materials followed by the actual line item title. Go ahead and pre-fill materials with no pricing. Okay. The reason for that is this is just the way I do my estimates, and I do think I have to make decisions for this app, and I can't make it so complex that it's got a million toggles and stuff. It's going to be one way. So what I would rather do is give too much information on the line items or give too many line items. And then if you don't want to use them, you can delete them. Or if you want to consolidate them, you can copy and then just paste and then delete one. But the idea is that every line item, this is what my property managers love. In fact, they love it so much, they just told me that they're now training, they're asking their other vendors, and they're using my stuff as an example to show other vendors to say, hey, here's how we would like your estimates and your invoices and stuff. And what they're showing them is how I do labor, comma, whatever the labor is, with a description and a price. And then the next line item is materials, comma. And then the same description, just one says labor, comma, the other says materials, comma. And those are always back to back. So if I'm saying change light bulb, the next line is going to be materials, comma, light bulb, comma, whatever, whatever. And then the next one's going to be drywall patch. And then right after that's going to be materials for the drywall patch. If you don't want to use it, it's easy to just delete the line item. But the problem is if you want a materials line and it's not there and you have to create one, you can't create a line item between two line items. You have to scroll to the bottom, create a new line item there, and then drag it all the way back up. And that's just a pain in the ass. So we're going to add a materials line item between every labor line item, which I already put in here. So separate block for specialties. I didn't do the separate block for specialties yet, right? I don't think I did. Okay. No, I know I didn't. I'll just do it now. If Specialty. Or further. However, I want you to reword that for me because I'm not eloquent. Pursue my intent. Next, also in a separate. Oh, wait a minute. Pursue my intent and do not let the AI decide when we need to send a licensed professional. Let the inspector in the video dictate that. I don't want it deciding that a ceiling fan needs an electrician, just if I say we need one. Next, also in a separate section at the top, let's do a similar thing where we list out item numbers that require that are critical, that are labeled critical. All right, that's fucking enough for me. My goodness, that's a lot. I get worried tasking it with so many items all at once. It seems to do a great job. It does it anyways, but man, I get worried about it. Plan mode, submit. What do we got over here? Mike said Chris hangs a picture. I'm a handyman now. Man, let me tell you something, Chris. By the way, developers make great handymen. I think developers and handymen have very similar brains, and it wouldn't surprise me to find out that the main difference, maybe two main differences. Number one is going to be the memory structure. I think people have different memory structures, and I think the structure of memory that a developer has, like I was saying before, is a different. I think developers are able to take let's say unconnected details. So details that aren't really attached to a wider concept. I think your developers, those are the guys in high school that you could be like, World War II started on January 3rd, 1992. Well, 1942. And they're just going to remember that, right? They can just store bits of information in their memory. I think that's a developer. I think the other thing a developer is, though, is a problem solver. Somebody who enjoys figuring out how things work and how to manipulate those things, how to make those things work in your favor, how to put systems together, and how things work. Just problem solving and figuring stuff out. I think that is a developer mindset, and that is a handyman mindset too. So not all handymen can become developers because we can't always add that special type of memory. But if you're already a developer, as long as you physically are capable of doing the work, you've already got the brain that you need for the job. And Chris has remodeled both of his bathrooms at home. And I'm talking about Chris has built shower pans and everything from not knowing how to do it, right? Not being a professional, used YouTube and Google and figured out how to mount new manifolds for new shower cartridges, how to do shower pans, all of the plumbing, all of the electrical, all of the drywall, the tile work, the grout, the hanging big giant glass doors and stuff. I mean, Chris, without being a handyman, has done that and done a beautiful job of it. So that's a funny joke about hanging the picture, but Chris is actually really great. And I think most developers are at handyman work. Mike said, Ray idea, could it add red arrows to the picture? Oh, I see what you're saying. You know what? I don't think I want it to. I think if we have a good description, the picture should suffice. I do get why you would say that. My worry would be that it's going to be another bug I have to fix where it's going to be 1 in 100 have the arrow pointing to the wrong thing. But then what do you do about that if you're the user and you see the arrow pointed to the wrong thing? Now you're going to need the ability to edit the arrow or remove the arrow. I feel like it's going to get too complex for round 1. However, for round 2, I do think red arrows would be... Actually, you know what would be good for round 2? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. For a future version of this where I improve it, we need to make it so that we can pull the picture up into an editor, and the editor should have some things like a little yellow circle, and if you tap the yellow circle, you can just like drag it on. Yeah, just not even tap. Touch, hold down, drag a red arrow, be able to pinch, like pinch zoom, except you can pinch zoom the arrow bigger or smaller, and you can touch with 2 fingers and rotate left and right. Same with the arrows, same with the circles. Yeah, and then just like a regular highlighter where you can just touch something, and then anytime you touch the screen, it just sort of draws on it. Yeah, we'll add that for sure in the future. Not yet, but I'm going to write that down for my future stuff. Oh, that's just for the rerun. That'll be fine. I'll put it on there too. Add editor for photos on mobile. There we go. Mike said, might be very unreliable. Scott said, along with a licensed professional thing you got going on, you might want to have it listen for high, medium, low, or critical. I don't think AI can make a judgment call on that. I'm not going to do that, Scott, only because it's a good idea if you are certain that the person doing the inspecting knows what's critical and what's not. I think the AI does a good enough job, and I don't think it's going to miss critical stuff very often. Also, for example, labeling something major instead of critical isn't as big of a deal. If you get that wrong, that's not as big of a deal, as long as you got the actual gig on there. So if you said, you know, the backyard hose is running full blast and wasting thousands of dollars worth of water, and I can't turn it off. If you've said that and it labels it major instead of critical, as long as you've said it, then you've said it. You've given them the information they asked for. Your labeling it of critical or not, I don't think is as big of a deal. So now what we find ourselves in is this position where what do we optimize for? Do we optimize for the inspector having control, which we can come back and edit as you've seen after the fact. We can already switch that around and edit it. I don't want it set, if you remove the AI piece and now the inspector has to say it, now the problem you're going to find is you're going to be sending an employee out there to decide what's critical and what's major, what's minor, and what's moderate. And that employee, they're just not going to know as well. I think the AI will do a better job than let's call it the average user. It's a great idea, but I do think AI can make that call and be more correct than the average user. And I don't want to make that a thing now where you have to remember to say that. And if you don't say it, you know, now you could have it. Yeah, I can have it override. Let's do an override. I'll definitely do an override. Let's cancel out this build. We haven't started it yet anyways. If the inspector provides a, what did I call it? Severity? Such as critical, major, moderate, or minor, make sure that the software, the app, prioritizes the inspector opinion over the AI opinion. However, if the inspector does not specify, then default to the AI. Plan mode. Let's go ahead and change. I'm going to put this in build mode and just say, now build everything you just recommended, plus this additional feature. Build mode. And build. Cool. So now we're going to build out a bunch of more stuff. A bunch of more stuff. Oh. So that'll be really cool. It's a lot of changes. I want to get this done because once it's done, man, now I'm going to have, I actually have, this was really cool. 𝗬𝗪 doesn't have like a downloadable master document for how to build for things that you want on 𝗬𝗪, because it was never anticipating that an AI was going to need to read all of that. So on 𝗬𝗪, it's all just on their developer side. You just like click on a thing and it opens a page and you've just got a page full of text. So what I did was I just literally opened up a text document and I opened every damn page, every single page. It was like 60 pages. All buried within, nested in other pages. And I just went line by line, ding by ding, opened up everything that could be opened, copied and pasted everything over. And then once it was all copied and pasted over, just went to my 𝗪𝗪bot over here and said, hey, I just saved a document that has everything you need to know about publishing an app that integrates with 𝗬𝗪. And then I went to Replit and I downloaded the entire code base for this thing and transferred it over or downloaded it to the same computer and said, and I've also downloaded the entire code base for my app. Please go through it and tell me what else we're going to need to do to my app to make it compliant. So, you know, right away it was like, well, first of all, 𝗬𝗪 is very clear. It must be two-factor authentication not required, but two-factor authentication possible if you want to get it integrated with 𝗬𝗪. So good, right? I'm going to be able to have my 𝗪𝗪bot basically look all of that over. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Replit could too. I've just found that, well, number one, my 𝗪𝗪bot's running on Opus 4.6, which is either the same, hold on. I tell you what, let me ask Grok. Grok will know for sure. Grok is outstanding now. It's the best. Okay. I want you to research this in real time because it changes daily. I want to know what agent is doing most of the building. Actually, tell me what agent is doing the coordinating and what agent is doing the coding and what agent is acting as the architect inside a Replit. I believe they're all from Anthropic, but they're not all the same agent. What agents are being used for each of those jobs?
Checking Replit's AI agents right now. Let's see who's building what. Replit's AI agent. Yeah, it's evolved a ton by now. February 2026. It's not just one bot. It's a multi-agent setup, mostly powered by Anthropic's Claude models, like Sonnet 4, or even newer ones, though they mix in others too for speed. From what I dug up, there's no super clear one agent per job label, like you're thinking, but here's how it breaks down in practice. Coordinating, the boss role. That's the main agent. Think of it as the project manager. It handles the big picture, takes your prompt, plans the whole app, delegates stuff, tracks progress, and loops in
Are
user
any of
feedback.
them Opus 4.6?
Checking if Opus 4.6 is in there. Yeah, looks like Claude Opus 4.6 is now the main one driving Replit agent. Especially Agent
Nice.
3.
Oh my
They flipped
God. Dude, that, for y'all who don't know, Opus 4.6 is very expensive. I was going to say that I want to have my 𝗪𝗪bot be the one who dictates what we do to this app to make sure that it's like 𝗬𝗪 compliant. But that's only because my 𝗪𝗪bot is running on Opus 4.6 for anything coding related. It's running on Sonnet 4.6 for everything else. But it's Opus 4.6 for coding related stuff. If you don't know this, that's the cream of the crop. I can't believe that Replit has Opus. I can believe that they're using Sonnet 4.6, which is like half the price of Opus. Opus 4.6, though, that is a Very powerful bot, and that explains why we're now doing multiple agents coding at the same time and just finishing this stuff up so damn fast. The stuff y'all have watched me do today that's gotten done in like 5 to 10 minutes used to be 35 minutes. Like, I would get it started and I would walk out into the house and I'd go like play with my kids for a minute and go say hi to my wife and go get a little snack and make a new cup of coffee and then come back and wait for 5 more minutes. So that is great that we're using Opus 4.6 now. However, I'll bet you, I don't know the numbers for this yet. I haven't looked it up because it's too new. But I will bet you I'll bet you Grok is that close to 4.6, if not past it. Grok is amazing. If y'all aren't using it, y'all heard me bitching about it. I was honest with you when it lied every day about everything. That was 4.1. 4.2, different GPUs, different servers, different training run, different everything. It's not the same product. It isn't the next version. It's not 4.1 plus a little extra something. It is a fully different AI. It's run on the Colossus cluster, completely separated out. It's composed of multiple agents. It's got a coordination agent, a fact-finding agent, a creativity agent. It's got all these agents for all these different things, and it brings everything together for you. And the agents essentially have a big conversation, except really fast, and then bring you the answer. But everything that it gives you has been fact-checked, has been compared to a bunch of other things, has had new ideas and creative stuff injected into it to be looked at by the others before you get your final answer. And I'm telling you, I think it is amazing. I don't have a better word. Amazing. So go use Grok now. All the changes are in place. Checkpoint made. All right, the checkpoint is made. Let's hit that republish button. All right, next. Mike said I do the same thing on my voices with the labor and materials after each other. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, provisioning. Database migrations validated successfully. You get this on Replit anytime you've done a significant change to your database and your development environment now has to push a new structure of a database out to your production environment. I'm sure all the developers would word that far differently than me, but that's my handyman version of telling you what that means if y'all use Replit when you see that. All that is it's just telling you that it has validated the database, that's created a new one, it considers it to be valid, it's a thumbs up, yes, it looks like this will work on the production database rather than to break it, and then you can go ahead and say approve and push it. The alternative is sometimes it fails right there. It's like the same screen, but it fails because it's trying to push, usually it's trying to push a new table where part of the table is labeled as something that's already there. So if it says like, get item, if that's just one of the like names of something on a table, is the get item column. If there's already a get item, and then you're trying to push a new get item, it's going to ask you, are you wanting to replace that get item with this get item, or are you wanting to add get item, in which case we need to rename it. So that's what that means if y'all ever try to do this. And, Scott and Paul, feel free to correct me if I need to be corrected. I don't like being corrected. Obviously, nobody does, but I mean, I'm okay with it. If it's a person that I consider to be trying to be helpful, I don't mind being corrected when somebody's truly trying to contribute some value rather than to just like point out technicalities. All right. Let's do some more of this. Oh, actually, no, let's not do some more of this. In fact, let's close out this PDF. Oh, I should have refreshed it. Tell you what, let's open a PDF, cancel, and we'll go straight to refresh. See if we can refresh our PDFs. No, didn't work. Tell you what, I'm gonna come right back in here right now and say, I refreshed my PDF and it still just gives me a blank screen. I need the refresh button not to do that. I'm going to leave it in build mode and just hit go. All right, close that out. Next, let's go all the way home. There we go. There's home. We'll refresh that. I don't think it does any good with a mobile app, but we'll even F12, right click, and empty cache and hard reload just in case. I know that works with like regular websites. I just don't know if it does any good with a mobile app. Okay, so let's test out one of these things, which is the videos, right? We wanted to see if it'll play the video all the way through. So that ain't the full video. That was, oh, that's the one I just did. Where's my full video? My full, oh, here we go, orchard grass. There it is. So it should be up at the top. There we go, there's the full video. Hit play. It just stopped there again. What if I move it into the middle? No. No. I did publish. Do that. Oh, man, I'm sick of this guy's voice. All right. All right. Next. Still does not play all the way through. This is for a video that was created before the change in the code. Is the fix that you instituted Can you rerun it? Go to plan mode for this. See what it says. I'm asking it if the fix that it did was only going to apply to new videos or if it's a fix that changes the way it handles existing videos. The ffmpeg re-encoding fix only applies to future stitch videos. It changes how the stitching command runs when a new video is created. The good news is we can absolutely rerun the stitching for existing inspections. Let me explore how the current stitching works so I can set up a way to trigger a restitch. That's fine. I'm going to assume that it was fixed. Look at that. I learned something new. Mike taught me some stuff today. Control and scroll. Back. Okay. So let's try to get this into the screen. We'll zoom a little more. That's about as big as I can get it for y'all. Nah, we don't need to do any of that. No es necesito. So, orchard grass drive, inspection report. Open that up. We want to see the PDF. Cancel. That's not going to be fixed until we open a new video. All of that's the same. We've got our brown border. I like that. The tag up here that says moderate is still not color coded really. Critical is, but everything else is not. My goodness. I have to go back and correct this guy all the time. No, don't do that. I'll just test on the next one. Next problem. on the PDF. Critical, major, moderate, and minor. Colors. And we'll just go straight to build mode. Or, wait, is this also something that won't change until we run a new report? I bet it is. That's not always the case. Quite frequently with these things, as long as you're refreshing, it'll update like the PDF and stuff. No, this is a live code change. The PDF is generated fresh every time you click it. See, that's what I was saying. See the issue. All right. It's taking initiative and it's going and checking the email template when it's doing things to the PDF to make sure they're going to line up. Ooh, how does this look? Ah, no. I don't want it like that. That's gross. We need to have all of this information over here to the right. We need to fill this in. I do not like the way that looks. And you know what? Just like Kelly Johnson over at Skunkworks, things need to be beautiful too. They don't just need to function. They also need to be beautiful. Of course, he was wrong about that. That's how we got the F-117, was by ignoring that. But still, I believe things need to be beautiful. All right, fixed it. Cool. Next, the PDF layout looks ugly. The vertical photo with nothing to the right is just ugly. Let's tighten things in and next, the PDF layout looks ugly. The vertical photo with nothing to the right is just ugly. Let's tighten things in and move some of that data up there into the blank spot on the right. But make sure it will revert to the vertical stacking on mobile when not in PDF. Actually, I don't even need to say that. It's just for the PDF. Yeah. This app needs to be beautiful. All right. And we're already in build mode, so that'll just happen on its own there. Oh, we've changed the way we've displayed some stuff here too. There's a critical. Oh, did we get on the PDF? No, we didn't. I don't see my criticals up at the top. I don't see my specialties up at the top. All right. On the PDF, I don't see the critical section up at the top that calls out which items are critical, and I don't see the specialties at the top that calls out which line items require specialized trades. They're not on the PDF. Build mode. Go. Boom. Close. Next. Close. Next. Refresh. Oh, I didn't publish yet. I'll wait for that to finish and then I'll publish. PDF. Still the same. Cancel. I'll have to publish for those to take effect. And then we can really come and look at this from a fresh perspective again. This is a beautiful app, though. I mean, tell me this isn't great. This is going to be so useful. Like, there's no better way to put it. This is going to be so useful. Yeah, buddy, you're on a live stream.
Oh, Jesus.
I was actually talking about you. I was telling everybody how I'm a developer now.
Your non-developer skills.
Yeah.
Only when you're not on a live stream.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. He doesn't want to be on a live stream. All right. Did we get it? Okay. Checkpoint reached. And republish. And while that's republishing, I'll put my microphone down for a minute and I'll go see what Chris needs. Whatever he's being a big old baby about. Yeah, it's been a good week. So I'll let you go for now and finish my coding and my live streaming, but thanks for calling, and I'll give you a call later. I will, because I'm a developer now. Yep, bye. Look at me. I am the developer. Okay. Where are we at? Cool. And there's that. All right. Well, supposedly, and we published, published 3 minutes ago. Should be able to come back into here, close out the PDF, refresh, and just in case, F12 and a hard refresh. There we go. Close out that F12 and PDF. Oh, there we go. Cool. Critical items, immediate attention required. Items number 2 and 59 have been flagged as critical priority and should be addressed promptly. Now, we don't have the licensed trades one, though. So, sometimes this thing is just stubborn, you know? And back to build mode. Okay. Oh, good. Minor is green. There we go. Major is orange. Moderate. Oh, major is red. Moderate is orange. What's critical? Where's the critical? Critical is just a darker red, I guess. Yeah, major is like a thin, tiny red, and critical is just a brighter red. Okay. Let's make those severity badges more saturated and bold. In fact, let's make the entire PDF more color saturated and visually appealing. It'll do it. Watch, it'll do it. Got that in the queue. By the way, I didn't tell you all this because I don't typically use the queue. You can, if you just send something, it'll just queue up, and you can have multiple things in the queue. Paul said, Ray, it's funny that you're adjusting severity levels and badges. That's exactly the same kind of changes I'm making in my project. Oh, sweet. Man, I want to see, Paul, can you, I mean, not right now, of course, but at some point, maybe this evening, would you mind video calling me and showing me what you're working on? And if you want to wait till it's done, I totally get that. Some people like to wait until it's a fully finished product and like present it. But I'd love to see what you're building, man. All right. What's next? Okay, and it moved it up and to the right, so that's good. That's prettier, in my opinion. Let's pull this out and make this bigger. Okay, let's just start checking some more of these. Number 10, windows and doors, upstairs master bedroom, minor. What do y'all think? Should I tell it to capitalize the room? Should it say upstairs master bedroom with capital letters at the beginning of every single word? I feel like that would look better. Paul said, I'll definitely do that. Not sure about tonight. I have to make sure it's not too embarrassing. Oh yeah, anytime. It doesn't, I don't mean tonight specifically, I guess. I'm just excited and I want to see it. That's all. I want to be special and get some upfront access. Okay. Number 10, windows and doors, upstairs master bedroom, minor. In the upstairs master bedroom, the vinyl blinds are slightly warped. The inspector notes this is common for south-facing vinyl blinds and that they remain fully functional. Risk, the warped blinds are a cosmetic issue. Over time, the warping could worsen, potentially affecting their ability to open and close smoothly. Recommendation, consider replacing the warped vinyl blinds to improve appearance and prevent potential future operational issues. Materials, new vinyl blinds, mounting hardware. Okay, we need to remove that. I don't want that on the PDF. Are we? Hold on a second. It's just the PDF. What do we get when we click onto internal and then say PDF? Okay, same PDF. We're not getting an internal PDF, a client PDF, and a client plus PDF. It's always the same PDF. That's good, I think. That's what I want. So I don't want materials listed on the PDF, only on the actual jobber line items and the corresponding editor description block. Editor page. Page is fine. Just stick that guy straight into build mode. What else can we find here? Let's pull that back. Look at me, Mike, just zooming in and zooming out. Humble Handyman said I would do caps. Cool. I think I will then. In fact, you know what? Just cement that in now. When we provide the name of the room that the work is in, or the location. Let's just say location. When we provide the location of the discrepancy, such as master bedroom or exterior wall or whatever, let's capitalize the first letter of every word. So bedroom on left without the capitalizations becomes bedroom on left. Build mode still, queue it right up. I'm just going to let it start running through these. Back over to the center. Next. Electrical. In the upstairs master bedroom, the ceiling fan's pull chain for the fan is not accessible, and the inspector states that the light and fan chains are clipped together and the fan chain is not routed through its designated opening in the fixture. This prevents manual operation of the fan, which should be available as a backup for the remote control. That is so accurate. Literally. They took the chain from the light and the chain from the fan. The chain for the fan is not even going through the fan chain hole down here next to the one for the light. Instead, it's looped up over the globe, and then the two are clipped together. And I explained this. Of course, the video can see it too, but I explained it, and it did capture it correctly in exactly the best way that I would have worded it. Risk, if the remote control fails or the batteries are depleted, there will be no way to operate the fan speed setting manually. It kind of should say, actually, no, oh my goodness. I was going to say that it should say there's no way to operate the light, but that's not true. You can still operate the light because that pull chain is routed properly. This thing is smart. Recommendation, disassemble the light kit on the ceiling fan. Notice it didn't say disassemble the ceiling fan. Disassemble the light kit on the ceiling fan to access the pull chains. Separate the fan and light chains and properly route the fan chain through its designated opening. Ensure both chains are accessible and function properly. Cabinetry, upstairs master bathroom. Upstairs master bathroom, there is rust present on the medicine cabinet, both on the interior of the cabinet and a little bit on the door. If left unaddressed, the rust will continue to corrode the metal, potentially leading to holes and further degradation of the cabinet's structure and appearance. Recommendation: remove all loose rust from the affected areas on the cabinet and door. Apply a rust-inhibiting primer, and then top coat with a matching white enamel paint to protect the metal from future moisture damage. Here's what's interesting there. I didn't say to apply a rust-inhibiting primer. I did say when I recorded this video that we should apply a white enamel paint, but that's all. And I stuttered my way through it, and I didn't mention the primer, and it added that, which I think I like. I don't like that it overrode me and added something I didn't ask it to add, but then again, I don't usually tell it what to recommend at all. I just say what's wrong. So I feel like it made a good compromise there. All right, where are we at? Checkpoint made just now. Republish. This is how we do it. Once we're happy with this PDF, we'll switch over to the editor. And yeah, we'll switch to the editor and we'll do some editing. And we'll do some syncing from the individual line item if it put that button on there like I told it to. And we'll do some syncing from the main editor, and we'll go back and forth between Jobber and here to see if it's syncing properly. What's neat is what I want y'all to see is this is already a valuable app without Jobber. This is already, if you had this app and you were doing an inspection, this PDF right here, you just send to your property manager and say, here's the inspection. Or if you're just doing notes for yourself, I mean, really, think about this. Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is really great. I'll bet you this can be repurposed and or maybe even have some toggles. Yeah. So here we go. Let's say a homeowner. I don't work for homeowners, right? I'm always showing y'all property management stuff. Let's say a homeowner calls you. And you're a handyman, right? They've called you because they need the thing, whatever the thing is they called you for. A piece of glass broken out on a casement window, and they need somebody who can come out here and reglaze that casement window with a new piece of glass, and that's handyman level stuff. They're not going to do that. But while you're there, they also have a toilet that's been running for the last 2 months, and they also have a drippy faucet in one of their bathrooms, and they have a whole list of stuff to do. So while you're there and they're showing you stuff, you bring up your app and you do the same thing. You click they tell you what's wrong and they say, yeah, there's the broken out glass. And you go click your button and you go, the glass on the casement window in the master bedroom has exactly one pane knocked out. We need to install a new pane. You keep your phone moving because we want the data for other things later. And then you hit pause. And then they say, okay, now I'm going to show you the toilet. And you go to the toilet and you click the button again. This same report works for you, is valuable to you, whether you send it to the client or whether you keep it internally for yourself to review when you get home. You no longer need to go home. And I know y'all have done this because I've done this. You pull out your clipboard and you start reading what you wrote and looking at the little sketches you made. And you're going, what the fuck is this? Did you get measurements for that, Ray? What about this? What about that? And you have no idea because you've just got this stupid piece of paper that you hurriedly made a bunch of sketches and notes on, when instead you could go home to this and have this beautiful report with video that you've taken from all angles of the damn thing. The Humble Handyman, Mike said, could it document your words, but then add something like what AI recommends? That way you can edit it and add easy or remove it. If you mean, if when you say document your words, if what you mean is use your words on the PDF, yes, it could, but I will not tell it to do that because one of the biggest features of this thing is that you can say whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. You can stutter your way through it. You can call a knob a lever, or you can call a handle a knob, or you can call a deadbolt the latchy thingy on the front door. You can forget the nomenclature and the terminology. You can incorrectly label things and just be you, having a bad day, being tired. You can curse, you can say the fucking doorknob on this one is loose too, and it's not going to put that word in here. It's just going to see what you're trying to get at and give you a professional structure. So if you're saying, could we make it so that it uses your words? I'm going to say we could, but I'm not going to. Now, if you're talking about specifically for the recommendations section, yeah, exactly. Now, Mike, if you're talking about the recommendations section, like recommended priming and painting the patched area to match the existing wall color and texture, my experience with this app so far has been that yes, if I make a specific recommendation inside the video while I'm recording, the AI does pick that up and put it in here, which is why, where'd it go? Actually, let's see this one. In the upstairs family area, the trim around the attic access is coming off. The inspector noted that it appears to have been hacked together and is cracked and damaged. Risk, the loose piece. So by the way, notice that it heard what I said, and it included that the inspector made a note. The inspector said something, something, something. Risk, the loose piece of trim could detach completely and fall, posing a minor safety hazard. The poor finish detracts from the aesthetic of the room and could worsen if not addressed. Recommendation, properly secure the loose pieces of trim around the attic access hatch. Caulk all gaps and seams, fill nail holes, sand the area smooth, and apply a matching coat of paint for a finished appearance. Let me find a better one, because there are some where I know that I gave it. Here we go. Perfect. Perfect. I specified this one. This door right here has no doorstop. It's missing. But I added, so it should have just said to add a doorstop, right? To fix the doorstop or add it back. I said specifically inside the video that we needed to actually not do that, and we need to put a hinge-mounted doorstop on there. The one that you add to the hinge so the door hits that, because this angle isn't conducive to a good doorstop. And look at the recommendation. Install a new doorstop to prevent the door from damaging the adjacent wall. A hinge pin style doorstop matching the existing hardware finish is recommended. So now maybe it recognized that that's a great spot for a hinge mounted doorstop, but I think it probably listened to my, oh, perfect. Here we go again. Y'all know what my policy is. Toggle bolts on towel racks. Look at this. More robust anchors like toggle bolts to ensure a stable attachment. I like it. Let's find another one. Oh, perfect. I made a specific recommendation here too. I said to put some grout down here. Recommendations, secure the flooring planks and fill the gap between the flooring and the threshold with a suitable flexible sealant or install a proper transition strip. Well, I said flexible sealant. I said flexible exterior sealant or grout. I didn't say or install a proper transition strip, which is kind of incorrect here. There's not an improper transition strip here. It's the floor that's improper. The transition strip is fine. But it does seem like it picked up my recommendations. Let me find some more areas where I made specific recommendations that it wouldn't have made. This one I was very specific about because I said, I'm not even going to read this yet. I'm looking at you. I said on this one, I said there's some peeling coming from the linoleum flooring up against the wall, which, by the way, it probably called it vinyl instead of linoleum because that's probably more correct. And I specifically said, I don't think we should do anything about this right now, but if you want us to do something about it, we could throw some caulk behind where it's peeling up just to like keep it secure and stuff. We could throw some caulk behind there to keep it secure from peeling up more and to keep moisture from getting in. but I don't think this is something we should work on now. So it says, monitor the condition of the flooring edge to prevent debris from entering the gap and to improve the cosmetic appearance. Consider applying a bead of flexible color-matched caulk between the flooring and the baseboard. Document the issue for consideration during future flooring replacement. Exactly what I said. The only difference is I didn't say color-matched caulk. That's a very nice... So it seems like this AI is listening to everything I've said, and it's sending my message on. But it's adding stuff that I should have added, which I like, because again, the idea is you're always going to review these before you send them. You're never just going to do this and hit send. You're always going to do it, and then you're going to open up the editor, and you're going to read. You don't have to open up the editor. You can read the PDF or go straight to Jobber. But I feel like you're going to want to do some editing on every job. So my recommended way to use this is going to be open up the editor before you even look at anything else. Just go straight into the editor and start reading. If you think it's minor instead of moderate, change it. If you think this word should change it. Whatever you want to change it in the editor, because the editor, you can then hit sync, and it's going to sync that out to Jobber. And after you change the editor and save, then when you create your PDF's going to match your editor. So I recommend going straight to the editor. But what I am seeing here, the pattern I'm seeing, brand new software, and you never know how the AI will work based on the prompting that I gave it. It feels like it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I see what you're saying, Mike. You're saying, should we have the AI? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to have the AI like detail that it added certain steps. Again, because I'm just going to edit and send, and I don't want my client to receive anything that says the AI added blah, blah, blah. I just want them to see the beautiful end product. Yeah, there you go, Mike. And then you said, okay, it seems like it's doing a great job. No need to have it break down my words versus AI word, as long as it's picking up on how I'm seeing things and recommending. And that's what it feels like to me. It feels like it's picking up what I'm putting down. It's smelling what I'm stepping in. See, I would edit this. Near front entry, there is damage or a stain located up high on the wall near the ceiling that requires painting. Risk, the stain may be indicative of an active or past water leak. It's not. The stain that we're talking about is this little guy here. It's this dot, right? It's not. I think the AI is thinking that I'm pointing at some sort of staining on the ceiling when I'm not doing that. So this would be edited right here. But this would be the purpose of having the editor and of always going. You're never going to have an AI analyze 62 individual videos and get 62 out of 62 just right. Cool. I feel like I'm happy with this then, other than removing the materials, which I already did. Did I publish after that? It looks like I did. So now let's close this out, see if the materials are still there. Okay, I need a sticky close button. Screw this. I either need a sticky close button or I need just an up arrow to point to go straight to the top. Yeah, let's add an up arrow. Let's add a sticky up arrow to allow us to immediately there we go. Scrolling sucks. Build. All right. Fix my hole. Property inspection report. So we should be able to close this out. And the two changes we should see is no materials. And we should now have the licensed trades recommended to come to the property. So let's try this. Let's refresh. PDF. I don't see a licensed trades one, but that's removed. Oh, well, no, I kind of did. I did recommend a licensed trade person. Maybe I didn't say it right. So, because it's already been, okay. It's already been analyzed by the AI, and the AI did not pick up on that. Okay. Right on. Let me type this up. Ah. All right, I said we have a problem that may be one of two different causes. For one of the items I mentioned in the test video I did, I recommended that we send a licensed contractor out to evaluate for further repairs. You supposedly have rewritten this app so that a quick reference to those items, by item number appear in their own section at the top so that the client can quickly identify what licensed trades or specialists need to be called. Is the issue that the AI didn't identify that I asked for a specialist or contractor to be sent out, or is the issue that the app isn't displaying it properly? So is it our prompt or our code that's causing it to be missing? Let's go into plan mode and go. Mike said, yeah, it'd be a waste of time. If all I have to do is proofread the job, this will save a ton of time. Yeah, I estimate, for me, I spend too much time worrying about my words. Maybe it's not too much. I think it's the right amount, really. But carefully choosing my words, carefully stating what is included, carefully stating what's not included, carefully adding disclaimers and explanations, and really making sure that I'm careful about my words, because once I give it to them, I keep my word. So for me, it's like an hour and a half to do a move out estimate, maybe 2 hours sometimes, but an hour and a half pretty consistently. Once I get home, an hour and a half on the computer. This is going to cut it down to a half hour or less to go through, because I'll still go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I'll carefully read every single thing, but still, I feel like it's going to take an hour and a half and turn it into an hour. And it makes it quicker on the job because I'm not carrying around a notebook. I'm just holding my phone and talking while I record. So I feel like this is going to save a minimum of an hour, possibly up to 2 hours, but probably on average an hour and a half total per job. That's real value, in my opinion. Super real value. Okay. Now I have the full picture. Here's what's going on. It's the prompt, not the code. The code side is working correctly. You can see that the clip test inspection has one issue with licensed trade, licensed electrician. And if you viewed that report, the 𝗬𝗪 licensed professional assessment required section would show up. No, I did not ask for a licensed electrician. So first of all, I need that sticky button. Okay. I don't think we agree. Nope. Okay, no. Okay, hold on. I want you to look at the report for Orchard. 4810 East Orchard Grass Drive. 4810 East Orchard Grass Drive. Plan, go. Hey! What makes you think everybody wants to listen to you barking? All right. Mike said, will it help build quotes and justify... Oh, will help build quotes and justify pricing in a lot of cases. I agree. I can't find an inspection for blah, blah, blah. It was on the published site, not development. It's looking in development for the test, because that's what developers do. They test in development and not in production. Truncated logs. You know, maybe it's possible I didn't say that, but I sure feel like I did. So how about we go to my videos? This is what this is for now. So now we can go to my videos and we can scroll down. Oh God, now it's going to load up all of these and it's going to take forever to scroll. Oh no, it did all right. So we got to go find that spot in the bathroom. Mike, by the way, your brother's yard is done. And I just haven't, in fact, I need to pay the guy that did it. I can't remember if I paid him. I feel like I got started and didn't, so I probably haven't paid him yet. But your brother's yard is done, and I'll send y'all a bill for it eventually. I'm not in a hurry to get paid, even if I have paid him. I was doing a million things when I got the invoice. I was just happy that the job got done. Yeah, that's right. He wanted me to Zelle him. I haven't paid him because he wanted me to Zelle him, and I would have remembered having to set that up. Here we go. Listen carefully if you can. Yep. All right. Shut up. Shut up. Tired of your voice. Okay. So let's get back over here. Okay. 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 Cool. And it has the solution, which is basically what it says is my prompt that I'm sending up into Vertex. It does talk about needing to separate out when I say to send a specialist, but it's listening for specific specialists. And if I just say the word specialist, or if I just say the word licensed contractor without listing a specialty, then it won't recognize that. So now I'm going to let it start building in such a way that it's going to do a better job of picking that out. And I have already, by the way, I have already told it not to decide on its own when we need to send a specialist. That's up to me to decide, not the AI. So this is getting way better. We're making some progress here. I like the way it displays the critical items. I like the general look of everything. Oh, look, we made our buttons a little nicer. I still want to clean those up. I want to make those prettier. I don't think I want the brown and the orange on the numbers here. It's a little much. But things are looking... I like it. I think I like it. Do you guys like it? I feel like the colors just need to be more colorful. Like this orange should be an orangey orange. But overall, this is a pretty report that I would be happy to send somebody. Oh, no audio. No audio? From the video or from me? Can you hear me? Can y'all let me know if you can hear? Okay. Edward said, I'm still here listening, Ray. Been listening while driving back from my daughter's accept student campus tour. You have audio. Cool. Okay. I think Mike probably meant I didn't have audio in the video clip that I was showing. Oh, and if you're driving with your daughter, I'll try to watch my language. How about that? All of y'all, really. I mean, if y'all ever let me know, like, hey, by the way, my kid's right here with me, I'll watch my language. I can't guarantee to watch my language on every single live stream I always do ever. That is my time to kind of hang out with my guys and not have to talk like kids are around. But if I know for a fact that y'all have kids with you in any given specific one, I'll put the effort forth. Let's say that. Why doesn't he just email me at the Michael 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 get in touch with me about the event, actually, Wicklund, Wicklund. I'm going to go check out my email real quick. Apparently somebody's trying to get in touch with me about the Texas event, and I haven't replied back. And I've had two different people now. My mother and my mother-in-law now have seen that on Facebook and have sent me two different posts by the same guy who's just freaking out because I haven't got back in touch with him, but I don't think I have an email from him. Wicklund. Event questions, February 23rd. It's right here. I tried to send a question via the email link embed. Okay, that's probably going to go to Duke@bulletproofhandyman.com. I live in Mesa. Okay, reply. There we go. Got him responded to. See here on the Outlook too. Search Wickland. Nothing showing up here. Maybe this one. Oh, Mike Wimmer. Different Mike. How many people we got? By the way, y'all know about that event. Let me tell you what, I'll share the screen since I'm just sharing the whole thing anyways. Let's go to bulletproofhandyman.com, events, Texas Bunkhouse Retreat. Oh, let me go back so I can see how many people. 31 people registered now. This is going to be the biggest one ever. I think we're going to get all the way to 60 easily. We're going to have 60 people here. But yeah, this is the Texas Bunkhouse Retreat, free community retreat. This is paid for by Ergo Next, used to just be Next Insurance. It's in Texas at Bonham State Park. We have a barracks situation. Call it barracks, bunkhouse, whatever you want. We've got bunks, right, with just a single mattress on each one, not room for two people, one person per bunk. We've got 4 buildings with 20 bunks each to make a total of 80. So out of that 80, we're going to have 3 buildings for men and 1 for women, because we usually have about that ratio coming to these events. So we'll have 3 buildings for men, 1 building for women. If we need more for women, there's other options that we can look into. Let's see. It's a Thursday through a Sunday, so the 16th through the 19th of April. It's all paid for by Next completely. Food and lodging, all of it is provided. All you got to do is show up, bring some bedding, because it's just mattresses. They're not going to have sheets and blankets. Bring your bedding and whatever you'd bring for a weekend, and come spend a weekend with your handyman brothers, right? That's what it's all about. And any Edward Pitkin, actually, for sure, and Mike Neal, both of y'all, and Paul Dardeau, man, the community has been to these already. They will attest. These are great events. You're going to come away from them with a lot of value. And you should go to bulletproofhandyman.com and register. And while you're at it, you should go click on my link for Next Insurance in the description of this video or elsewhere and go get a quote from them and tell them thanks for sponsoring the event. That's how we get them to keep sponsoring these and doing them for free. And by the way, man, I can't really go into detail, but I'll tell you what, I have had to have some deep conversations with Jobber. And I shouldn't say had to have. There's nothing bad going on at all. But we've just been deep in a lot of different conversations from a lot of angles, a lot of perspectives. Very high likelihood they're going to be the ones sponsoring Colorado. So if they do, we'll have another one of these. It'll be in Colorado. It'll probably be in June, maybe July, but I hope June. We're going to do Florida. We're going to do Southern California. We're going to do Northern California. I want to do something in the Northeast up near like New York and stuff and DC. And honestly, I might just do a DC one selfishly because I miss DC. Really, it's just that basic. I just love and miss DC. Let me see how my phone's doing over here. Oh, fuck off. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, man. That's, you know, I don't know what to say. It's just stuff I can't even talk about publicly sometimes. It's just... I'll tell Edward. I'll tell Edward and or Mike, either one of y'all, when I talk to y'all in person on the phone next. I'm sure we'll be having a conversation about the stuff that just annoyed me. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, Edward said, she can't hear you and she's used to my sailor ways. That's good. Let's see. Mike said, I agree. It looks better and I agree with the colors needing more. Oh, man, I like it when people... I don't want anybody ever just telling me that I'm right. But Mike, I know that you won't do that. Mike's actually a good enough friend. He's not going to do that to me. It's nice when people can just back up what I'm saying. So I tell you what. No, I'm not going to. I can mess with that later. I'm going to do that for sure, but it's going to be later. So where are we at over here? What did we just do? AI prompt update. All right, let's just publish whatever we got. Whatever we've done, we're going to publish. This is good enough for me to continue on. So we're going to publish that. And then we'll go, man, how long have we been in here? 2 hours and 49 minutes. You know what, guys? I do love you guys, but I love my family. I've been in here for almost 3 hours, and it's a weekend, and yeah, it's time for me to go be a dad. So I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.